Hi guys, today I'm going to tell you a story about my past and how I ended up going from a luxury fashion retail career to a very simple life on a subtropical island and running my own blog and working for myself. So this is the whole story. You asked me so many times to make a video about this, and today is finally the day when I sat down and decided to do it for you. So let's get started. So around 11 years ago, I went to London to study just retail management and business, because my first job I ever had was in a Zara store. It was the first Zara store they opened in Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania, my country. And I don't know if you know Zara, but basically it's like one of the biggest fashion retail chains in the world, and it comes from Spain. So I started working there, and I worked there for almost a year while I was studying Lithuania, and I loved retail so much, and I absolutely loved fashion. So I decided to quit my university in Lithuania and go to study retail management in London. That was the plan because I loved retail so much. So I went to London and I did some stupid jobs. I even cleaned toilets in a pub, which was horrible because after Friday or Saturday night, I can't even tell you what the toilets look like the next morning. But it was a good experience because I needed that kind of lesson in my life. I needed to get over my fears and to do something that I would normally never ever do in my life. So it definitely made me less spoiled and more ready for real life. So then I ended up being a barmaid while I was studying, and in the end I started working for a luxury retailer called Harrods, and it's a department store considered to be the most luxurious department store in the world, and I was so proud when I got a job there. So I ended up working there for 4 years, which is a really long time. I think, for me at least, 4 years in one job is quite a bit. But I ended up moving through all kinds of positions, and because I was studying retail management, it was exactly my job, it was exactly what I was supposed to do. So it was quite easy for me to climb up the career ladder, and I ended up becoming the manager of one of the luxury fashion departments, which was so amazing because I ended up managing a team of around 25 people, and it gave me so much experience for life, really, about communication and dealing with people and managing people and building relationships. It was such a great experience. And then I also ended up getting into a very, very cool program called the Harrods Management Program, which is a program where they make a manager out of you, out of a supervisor. And I think it lasted a year, as far as I remember. And there were just around, I think, 5 or 6 people from the whole company. And the company was huge. There were 3,500 people in the company. And they choose those 5 or 6 people every year, or maybe 10, I don't know, but not many. And the experience was so cool. It taught me so much as well. So even though in the end I realized that retail and luxury and fashion is not something I wanted to do for life, I will always be grateful to Harrods for giving me the opportunity to go through all that training. So everything was going great. I was managing this fashion department and I was really enjoying my work. But then suddenly, I don't know why, but I just stopped believing in selling all these luxury items to people who didn't even need them, to be honest. I mean, what's the point of spending, let's say, £1,500 on a dress or £3,000 on a bag? I just stopped seeing any kind of point in doing this, and I had to have meetings with my team in the mornings and motivate them to sell and set targets for everybody. And obviously when I stopped believing in it, it was really hard to do that for me, and my team started feeling this kind of dilemma that I was having in my mind, and it was just more and more difficult for me because I just couldn't do it anymore. When you don't believe in a job anymore and you try to pretend and you try to do it well, and for a while it works, but it kind of starts eating you from the inside. So one day while I was having a shower, I decided to just quit my job. I don't know how, but every time I'm in the shower I get the best inspiration and the best intuition, signs from my intuition, and I just decided to quit the job. And the next day I went and quit my job, and a month later I was free. And I know I took a huge risk, but I just knew I had to do it because I didn't believe in it, and I somehow knew that things would work out in the end. And we decided to move back to my parents because we could save some money, because we didn't have to pay for rent. We could live with them for a while, save some money, and then move to Tenerife and start a different life. So that's basically how it all happened, you know, when I quit my job, when I decided to leave London. And by the way, my husband wanted to leave London for years. He never really liked it. He only went there because of myself, so because of me. So when I said that I wanted to quit my career and to move away, he was overwhelmed with happiness because that's what he always wanted. So at the time I had no idea about the steps that we were going to have to make. I had no idea how to get to our goal of living in a beautiful, warm place and sunny place. But I knew that things would work out, so we just had to take the first step to leave London, to go somewhere else, to go to my parents and save some money, and then things would work out in the end. And we had a lot of hard times, you know, we had a lot of very hard times financially. We had times with no money. Times were hard, but everything worked out in the end. And it's true, when you follow your intuition and when you really know exactly what you want to have at the end, the universe will provide you answers about what to do. So we knew that we would have to live a very, very simple life with very little money, give up a lot of things that our classmates and friends could afford. But we knew that it was only temporary, you know. We would sacrifice everything for a few years, but in the end we would have the freedom, we would have the time, we could spend all the time with our children. And that for us was priceless. You know, quality of life is so much more than just earning lots of money and slaving for some company. At least that's what we felt, and everything worked out. So this is really my crazy story, how I went from a luxurious life with fashion retail and lots of new clothes and rich people all around me to a very simple life on a very small island with a very simple flat and almost no clothes shopping, but lots of good real food and wonderful animals and lots of love between me and my husband. So if I look back now, I'm so happy that I did what I did. And often my husband and I talk about, you know, what would have happened if I'd stayed. I don't know what it would be now, but you know what? I wouldn't change my simple life for anything in this world, for any money, for any job. No, nothing could be better than this simple life. So I don't even know what's the purpose of this video. I guess just to share more about myself, about how my brain works, about how I ended up doing what I'm doing, how I ended up being on this island, just opening up, I guess. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you now feel that you know me a little bit better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.